I'm still the same me. And that's what people forget. People forget to stay authentic to who they are. Your path is your path. Mine is mine. The whole thing of being spiritual is understanding our differences and still loving each other for it. And still respecting each other for it. We can agree to disagree. I had this conversation with someone last week. I'm like, yo, just because you're not agreeing with me doesn't mean that I'm going to stop loving you. On the contrary, I respect you because you have your own point of view and you're sticking to your word. And you're not changing your mind just because I'm telling you something. I tell my own children, I'm like, you don't have to believe anything I say. Research. I may be your mother, but I don't know it all. And I don't claim to know it all. There's a lot to learn. A lot. So when we go through like these spiritual awakenings, right? Because for the most part, people are going through it right now.
Right.
I haven't spoken to one person that's not going through it, Nelson. Right. Like everyone's going through something.
The world has been in that stage of reawakening for the past few years, I would say.
Right. Yeah, sure. Since COVID.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's given people an opportunity to actually look at life and what really matters.
For sure.
Like what's important to you. So I have, I'm also a neurolinguistics practitioner, and I implement cognitive behavioral therapy in my sessions. I'm not a clinical therapist, so let me start off with that, because people are like,
disclaimer.
You're a therapist? I'm like, no, I'm a practitioner.
Right.
But I implement these things into my sessions, and there's a difference between wants and needs. There's 5 basic needs that every human being needs. Food, water, shelter, sunlight, connection. 5 needs. Everything else is just wants. I want a new car. Do you need a new car?
Probably not.
I live in the city of Miami where public transit is probably the worst in the States. Guess what? I still make it to where I need to. Why? Because when there's a will, there's a way. I don't believe in excuses. I believe in actions. If I'm able to make it to where I need to go in a city and I don't own a car and I'm able to be there on time, people that run late is because they're choosing to.
100%.
Because they don't have the want.
For sure. Because if you wanted to be there on time, you'd be there on time.
You make it happen.
Yeah.
You make it happen. So in this whole spiritual realm, I laugh at it because it's funny. I don't fuck with people in the spiritual world, because I see right through them. I also read energy. So for me, it's like, yo, your energy already snitched you out before you even came into the room.
That's interesting. So most people wouldn't expect me to be a spiritual person, right?
And you're tapped in.
And I'm huge on spirituality, on having a relationship with whatever you believe in. And it's funny because this new age stuff, like all the people that are like super into all this, yoga,
they're brainwashed.
Like they're so full of shit.
They're full of shit. Listen, they're doing it because it's trendy, because it's cool. Oh,
right.
I'm walking around with cleansing with my sage. Okay, do you know what the natives used to use sage for? They use sage to call on spirits. So you're basically calling on spirits, and then you're wondering why you can't concentrate. Bro, do you know what you're doing? 110%. Like, I'm all for it. Like, you want to have some sort of spiritual practice, please do it. But do your research. Does this sit well with your spirit, first and foremost? Oh, there's a full moon. There's a blood moon. I need to do this ritual. Is your body telling you need to do that ritual? Or are you doing it just because everybody else is saying that you have to do a ritual? I don't do new moon or full moon rituals anymore. Something in me told me you got to stop. I haven't done that in maybe like a year and a half.
So funny enough that you bring up sage. Most people don't know that aside from being a spiritual practice, it was a practical practice. Sage kills the bacteria in the air.
Yeah, it's antihistamine.
So it's funny that people try to but it's like, no, dude, not just like, Native Americans in back in the day used to use this. This was used by medical practitioners to like cleanse the area and like, what's it called? Not purify, sanitize the air. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
to purify the air.
Yeah. So, yeah, Most people, it's funny because I'm like the hustler, entrepreneur, make money. People think I'm a certain type of way when it comes to that topic, and I'm the total opposite.
No, because people see you for the external, right?
Right.
Like people see me and they're like super intimidated. I'm like, yo, you can have a conversation with me. Like, yes, I know I look intimidating, but I'm far from it. And it's not that I'm intimidating; it's that they feel intimidated.
Yeah.
Because something in them is like, yo, something's up with this girl. You know what I mean? I don't take it personal. Let's have a conversation. And then they're like, oh my God, you're so nice. Yeah, what'd you think? I was a monster? I was going to bite you? No.
I mean, they see the different hair colors and the tattoos.
Yeah, but I'm ever changing.
Right.
Always evolving, so I can't stay the same.
What's been your favorite hair color?
I'm kind of digging this red right now, to be honest.
It's a season. I've seen a lot of girls with the red. I've seen them.
I don't know. Listen, on Saturday, I was home and I had blue. Last month. A couple days ago.
All right.
Yeah, a couple days ago. I had the blue and it was already kind of wearing off and I'm like, nah, I need a change. Let me change it. And then I did some color and I was like, I wasn't feeling it. I'm like, no, too orangey. So then I mixed, because I do my own color. So I mixed two different reds and this is the end result. And I was like, okay, this is dope. On Sunday, I went to the Everglades and I ate a gram of mushrooms.
Nice.
I am completely sober, but every now and then I'll do mushrooms.
I think psychedelics are different. It's a different
exactly.
thing.
So I was addicted to drugs back in the day. I've been 12 years clean and sober from like heavy drugs. I stopped drinking almost 6 years ago. I stopped smoking weed 2 years ago. But every now and then I'll dabble with psychedelics because it helps me connect spiritually, right? And every time I go on a journey, it's always something new. And I learn something new and I connect in a different way. And on Sunday, I'm sitting there in meditation, and all I saw was red.
Interesting.
Everything was red. Like, everything that was coming at me was red. And I lead a meditation class on Mondays at the park. And everything that I got in my journey was basically the message I had to deliver at my meditation on Monday. People were so ungrounded. The people that showed up there needed grounding. And I was able to hold the space for them so they can ground and help them ground. That I was like,
that's awesome.
Oh, cling, 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 cling. That was the whole message of me having to do this.
For sure.
On Monday. And I've noticed that even me, for the past 2 weeks, since the beginning of the eclipse season, I was like all over the place. My emotions were crazy, and I'm a very emotional person, but I'm able to deal with my emotions, right? And I was just like, I was feeling like everyone else's shit.
Right.
Because I'm an empath. I'm empathetic. But I was feeling my shit mixed with everybody else's, but I'm like, I've been home. I haven't gone anywhere. Like, I'm hermit mode right now. Why? And it's the collective as a whole. Everybody's like, they don't know where they're going. They don't know if they're coming or going. And it's part of this whole change that humanity's going through. Yep. It's a shift. The shift is real.
Yeah.
The shift is real.
The shift is real.
The shift is real. And that shit is real. And it's about to get really real.
Straight up.
And from now until probably March is going to continue to feel different. And you're going to feel it in the air. And you're going to see it in people's energy. So that's why we have to be mindful of who we're choosing to have energy exchanges with.
Right.
Talking, the people that you connect with. Be very careful and very mindful of your words.
For sure. All right.
Let's go back to energy exchanges.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so, I'm big on being careful with who you exchange your time with, because they, how do I put this lightly? People are time and energy vampires. Not all people. Some people can be, though. And you need to be very wary. The big part of my book, there's a whole chapter about associations, who you hang around. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most, right?
Yeah, tell me who you hang with and I tell you who I am. That's a big saying in our culture.
Yeah. You know what?
Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres.
You know what I noticed while I was writing this book is most of those old sayings are modern day, a lot of the modern day philosophers, personal development people, and that's what they write in all these books. Like, dime con quién anda y te diré con quién eres, right? So that's association. Who do you hang around? You are who you hang around.
You are who you hang with.
El diablo sabe más por viejo que por diablo. The devil knows more from his age than from being the devil.
Exactly, because experience.
Experience, right? Wisdom. All these sayings that my grandparents and my great grandma used to tell me, and it's like, bro, our culture is such a wise culture. You know what I mean? Hispanic culture in general. We carry so much wisdom and so much experience through our blood and through our genes. It's nuts, you know what I mean? And like I said, we take it for granted.
Yeah, the ancestors put in the work, man. Like
For sure.
We are their biggest dream. We are the realization of their dream. So what are we gonna do with our time here? We're just gonna fuck around and just be a waste of space. I'm sorry, I'm not here to waste space. That's why I'm a limitless being, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes